Hey guys, what's going on? My name's Dakota, also known as DXF the MUA. How you doing? What's going on? And welcome to my channel. I really want to bring all of my clients, my customers, my friends, my family, a little YouTube tutorial on how I do my glam everyday looks that I do to work, when I go out to party, you know. So today I thought I would bring you like a really nice simple tutorial on how to do a beautiful cut crease. So if you're interested, stay tuned. Make sure right before you start your makeup to prep your skin, do your moisturizers, do your serums, wash your face, because I know half of y'all don't wash your face. If you want good makeup, you need to have good skin, honey. So whenever I start my makeup, I always start with my brows. And today for my brows, I'm going to be using the Benefit Foolproof Brow Powder in the shade number 5. I'm actually going to use an angle brush, and then I'm just going to, and I'll just take a little bit of that deeper brown color. Alright, so let's do these puppies. I'm going to bring you guys in a little closer. Ooh, y'all really close now. So I'll just comb them up with a spoolie, and then I'm just going to go in with my angle brush and start right before the arch, and then come down following the tail. Okay, so that is your first line. So once you have that, I like to go right underneath and start the bottom portion. And then I start to fill in that arch area, giving her a little bit of volume. Okay, so now that we have this back portion of the brow finished, now it's time to start working on the front. So all I'm gonna do is take my angle brush and then make like one line towards the front of my brow, and then I'm just gonna blend that product up into the front of the brow. And this is gonna help give you that really nice ombre when it comes to that like light to dark fade. And then I'm just gonna do a little bit of filling towards the front, nothing crazy, just enough that I don't look bald, because I don't want to look bald in my eyebrow. And then boom, you got that Instagram brow. And I'm just gonna do the other one off camera, and I'll be right back. Now both of my brows are completed. I'm just going to go over them now with concealer. Doing that is going to really make the brows pop and really come at you and really look like they're nice and intense. Sorry, I'm shaking the ground. I'm just gonna go in using my LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Warm Honey. Take another different angle brush, and I'm just going to line my brows. I'm just going to start to just pull this down and just blend it down the eye. Then I'm gonna just take my finger and blend to smooth it out. Y'all. Look how crisp that brow is. So I'm just going to now just do the top, same thing. Oh, look at that crisp brow. Oh my God, I look like I can slice somebody open with this brow. So let me just go on the other brow with concealer, and I will be right back. Okay, so I am just blending out my last bit of concealer. So the next step is eyeshadow. Before you ever do your eyeshadow, you always want to use eyeshadow primer, just to get my eyelids a really nice base to sit on so it can really pop. For eyeshadow primer, I'm going to be using the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer. And I'm just going to swipe some of that right on my lids. Okay, now that I have my eyeshadow primer on, I'm going to also set my eyeshadow primer. I know, I'm one of those weirdos. So I'm just going to take my Morphe 9-1 palette, and I'm just going to dip into the shade here called Classic. And we're just going to lightly set my eyeshadow primer. Also doing this really allows your eyeshadows to blend like a dream on the eyelids. Okay, so once you look nice and crazy, it is time to move on to the eyeshadow. For today's eye look, I am going to be using the James Charles Morphe palette. So the first shade that we're going to use is this shade here. It's called Blue. We're going to use blue, this blue shade. I don't know the names of these, guys, don't quote me. So I'm going to be taking this brush. Now this isn't actually an Anastasia brush. It's their brushes that usually comes with their palette. I'm using the more flatter head part of the brush. And then using in my inner corner, I'm going to use that brush and I'm just going to start to pat this blue right into my inner corner. So you might get a little bit of fallout, but it's okay because we don't have our foundation on. So I'm just taking that blue and then now I'm just going to start blending it up. And then now I'm just going to start to blend the edges of this eyeshadow. Now that I have my blues placed where I want them, I'm going to go into my Morphe 35B palette. It broke, and I'm just gonna go in with this purple right here, and then I'm just gonna use the other half of my Anastasia brush. Now I'm gonna start at the end of the eye, and I'm just doing circular motions, and I'm just slowly building up this purple. Okay, so now that I have my purple probably right around where I want it, I'm just gonna now start to bring the purple and the blue together. Okay guys, so now that I have that blue and that purple together, I know I'm starting to look crazy. Don't worry, it's going to come together soon. I am now going to deepen my crease. And all I'm going to do for that is use my Morphe M507 brush. And this is like a nice rounded pointed crease type of brush. And then using this brush, I'm going to go into this pretty navy blue right here. And I'm actually going to take this color and mix it in with a little bit of this deep plum color as well. And then I'm just going to now take that shade and bring that right into my crease. So starting from the outer corner, I'm just going to do circular motions and just work this color up. Okay, so now that I have both creases done, now it's time to cut my crease. And I'm just going to now take some white concealer. This is actually the LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade White. I'm just going to take a concealer brush and take some of that concealer. And what I actually like to do is just take the concealer and then swipe it across my lash line. Just like so. And then what I'm going to do is actually open my eye as wide as I can. And then this actually takes a stamp. And we're going to use that stamp and just follow that, tracing out my crease. Once I have that cut crease shaped out, I'm just going to take my finger and blend towards the bottom. So now that I have both cut creases nice and filled out, I am now going to go in with my Blue Blood palette. And I'm going to use this beautiful shade here called Cullinan. And I'm just going to take this shade and then I am going to start to pack it on my crease to set that crease. And when you're doing this step, you want to take your time, really get the shadow all the way to the edge of that crease to really make sure it is nice and crisp. Both of my cut creases are nice and filled out. Now I'm going to go back in with that blue that I used here. I'm going to use that towards the end of my crease. And then just bring a little bit over that frosty white there too. Now that we're done with that blue transitioning from that crease back to the outer corner of the eye, I'm going to go in with this plummy color right here. We're just going to take a good amount of that. Then I'm going to start to just pack that towards the back of the eye. Okay. So after that, we're gonna do some final blending, and then we'll move on to the rest of the face. Okay, y'all, so I am happy with how the eye came out. It is time to move on to the rest of the face. Well, now because it's time for foundation, I love to start correcting anything that might stand out over my foundation. So I do have a little bit of hyperpigmentation right on the cheeks here. And I'm just gonna take a little bit of color corrector. This is the LA Girl Pro Concealer. Y'all, this concealer is so bomb. I love this brand's concealer. They literally have so many different shades for all different types of girls, different types of color girls, and you know we love that. So I'm taking this concealer and I'm just putting it over where I have a darker shadow. I'm also going to take some and put it around my beard area because I don't want her to be peeking through, because it's not cute. I mean, it's cute, but not for this look today. And then I'm just going to take a Real Techniques brush and just start to pat this out. Okay, so I still look crazy, I know, but I am now gonna go in with my Huda Beauty setting powder. I'm just gonna take a little bit of her and just set my color corrector. I'm now gonna take a little bit of my e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer, and you actually wanna do this before your concealer, but I forgot. And I'm just gonna put this right where I kind of need to do a little bit of pore filling, and I have a lot of pores right under my eye here. So we're going to do it there, and then I'll also get some pores on my nose. So we're just going to put a little bit of primer there. Okay, so now that we're primed, we're color corrected, we're powdered, it is now time for Founday. So for today, for foundation, I am going to be using the Juvia's Place foundation in the shade Lagos 240, and I just put some on the back of my hand, and then I'll just start to just dab this all over my face. Y'all, this foundation is so beautiful. I live for it because it's so full coverage. It also controls your oils, and I get pretty oily around my forehead and my nose. This foundation does a good job. And I know this also looks really light. That's because it is. I went to the beach and I got a little bit of a tan, nothing crazy, still look black. Now I'm gonna take my FS1 brush, which is from that Jeffree Star collection, and I'm just going to start to bounce and swirl this into my skin. Now I do want to be careful where I have my color correction at because I don't want to disrupt that. Do y'all see how nice this foundation looks? It really makes my skin look so clear, so smooth, and it's so effortless. Boom! Ooh, look at my skin. So try it out. Juvia's Place, phenomenal foundation, amazing price because we all about the deals. Next, I'm gonna do highlighting, which is also called concealing. I'm gonna be using the Benefit Boing concealer, their cakeless concealer. This is actually really new, and I love the packaging. The eraser looks like a pencil. Oh, I made a mistake. So I'm just going to use this right under my eye. I love this stuff so much. This is actually in the shade 9. And I take it and I do a good amount of it. And I like to do like these sort of like upside down looking triangles right under my eye. I'm also going to highlight my Cupid's bow, my chin, and then a little tree on my forehead. And then a little bit going right down my nose. I'm going to take my beauty sponge and I'm just going to start to blend this out. Now you can use your fingers, you can use a beauty sponge. You just want to make sure that this is really blended out and undetectable because we don't like to be able to see your makeup. I mean, honestly, you can see my makeup all the time because I'm very extra. But that's not the look we going for. We want to look more natural. And again, I don't know what natural means. I don't know why I keep on saying that. But just blend your makeup, okay, people? I love full coverage, as y'all can tell. And this concealer is so phenomenal. It's usually between this one and the Too Faced one. Too Faced is also a really good concealer, and y'all definitely should try that one out as well. But I am not mad at her. Okay, y'all, and that's it. That's the look. No, I'm just kidding. I hate when people do that in tutorials. I'm sorry. I will never do that again. I'm so sorry, y'all. Oh, I'm just gonna take my foundation brush, what I use all over the rest of my face, and I'm just gonna take that and like start to blend out the edges of where the concealer and foundation meet. This is gonna just make it look like it just picks up naturally in my skin, especially around my forehead. I'm just gonna go like this and blend the edges of the concealer. That is the whole point of makeup. You want to see your makeup, but you don't want to really see your makeup. Now that we have all of our liquids done on our face, I'm now going to go in with my Huda Beauty powder again. Also, guys, this is in the shade Blondie. I don't know if y'all ever used this before, but this stuff is so bomb. I have not ever found a powder that works like this. This like gives me such a, hold on, look. Just look for yourself, okay? I'm gonna get a little closer. I'm just gonna take this powder and start to put it right under my eye. Do y'all see that? Hold on. I don't think y'all see that. Hold on, let's do it more. Look. Like, y'all, this powder literally makes me look so airbrushed. It is not even funny. But I'm just going to take this powder on this is an e.l.f. brush that's nice and flat. And I'm just going to just press this under my eyes to stop my concealer from creasing. And then I'm just going to go ahead and set everywhere else that we put concealer. And before I do my forehead, I always want to blend out any creases because I have all these lines. And then we're just going to go ahead and put powder right there. I'm just going to take a little more powder and put this on the rest of my face. So I'm going to use my JS2 brush, and we're just going to take this and just stamp it all over the rest of our face. Now, I do like to pay extra attention to my forehead. Only because again I have all these lines. Now on you probably have a beautiful, smooth, no creased forehead, and I hate you. But for me, because I have all these lines, I have to make sure I really set up here. And then wherever you crease, just take that powder and set. I also get a huge crease on my nose here. Set there too. And I also like to set my smile lines because I crease there too. Listen, I make a lot of expression, okay? So once you look crazy and you look like you do crack, it is time to move on to the next step. So I am now gonna go into my Hello Happy foundation. This is the Velvet Powder Foundation. This makes you look so velvety, very soft. This is shade number 11, and I'm gonna also be using a Real Techniques powder brush. And I'm just gonna pick up a good amount of that, and I'm just going to start to dust off my make. And this is just going to add color back into my skin and take away from any of that like chalky, powdery ashiness. Now that we have our powder, our bake dusted off, this is the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Foundation Powder. I'm just gonna take, what kind of bird? I'm just gonna take a little bit of that. Again, using my brush that I used to set my under eye with, and start to like warm up the under eye, trying to dust off that bake that I used there as well. Then I'm also going to take some, put it right here under my nose, a little bit in the center of the forehead, and a little on the chin. Okay, so next it's time to contour. Because honey, this face is way too round to be getting away with. So I'm going to be using an oldie but goodie. This is called the Woosh palette. So many options, so many different things. I like to use this contour shade here. And then I also, hold on, hold up. I also like to take my James Charles palette and I mix these two colors. So what I'm doing is I'm taking these two colors and I'm also going to be taking this color and I'm going to be using that as my contour shade. I don't know, that's just what I do. I've been doing that for a really long time now and I think it's cute, so I'm just going to do it again. I am going to be taking a angled brush. Now this is a cheek sculpting angled brush, contouring brush, whatever. And I'm just going to take a mix of all three of those colors that I just mentioned to you now. And what I like to do for contouring is I suck in and then there's a hollow that you can feel. That hollow is actually what you're mimicking when you start to figure out how to do your contour shape. Now, I again like to take my face and give it a lift, like hence why I take my concealer shade and bring that up. I'm going to also bring up my contour shade. So instead of going here, I'm going to bring it up and angle it up here. So now that all this will help make that cheekbone look more like a cheekbone. Okay, do you understand? Because I know I just gave you a lot of information. You let me know. You good? Okay, you good? So I'm just show you. I'm gonna take that brush and suck in when you really don't have to, but suck in because it helps. And then I'm just going to take it and start to go upward. So I would usually go this way, but I'm going up. And I also like to take it and dab it instead of swiping it, because when you dab, you're adding a little bit at a time. And then once you pretty much got like the type of shape you're going for and the jaw, in the cheekbone area, then you can start swiping. Okay, so now that I have my contour shade there, I'm going to blend it using my foundation powder brush. Just like that. Sorry, I get really excited when my makeup starts coming together. Okay, so my cheeks, now you can see them, like my face is starting to have more definition. Just take my Woosh palette, that trifold opening thing, just taking that shade, and I'm just going to start putting it in the outer corners of my forehead. This is going to make my forehead look a lot smaller because I have a big forehead. Looks like a box. Look at that. Ooh, and we're just pushing the edges back. So now all you're going to be paying attention to is that brighted, highlighted area. Also going to take that same contour shade and come right down here on my jaw. And when I do this, I'm starting behind the ear, coming down, and then going underneath, not coming out and coming all around, because then you're making a beard on yourself. This step makes you look like you have a neck, because my neck is actually here, all this fat, but I did a contour making my neck look like it's here. Boom! That's how you take 20 pounds off, guys. Okay, so now that my face is really come together, the last part of contouring that you need to do is the nose. So what I like to do for her is take my Anastasia bronzer in the shade Mahogany, and then I also like to use my JS6 brush. So all I'm gonna do, I want to make it look more pointed. So what I'm doing is coming from the center and then working my way up, but I'm gradually moving over. You can start to see the nose actually starting to take form. You want to now take it and blend it right into the eyebrow, right sort of touching the edge of where my blue eyeshadow is. And then I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side. Ooh, the nose is pitched, baby. Now that we have our nose contour going on, I am going to take my powder sponge, and I like to just take some of that and bake the sides of my nose. sort of just follow my contour line. And you can really now see how what I was talking about, starting from the center and then going out. You can really see that now that the sides are highlighted. And honestly, the reason why I do highlight on the side is to actually blend this part of my nose into my under eye. So my nose can literally look just like this little sliver, and then the rest of my nose look like it's all meshing with my under eye. Science. Now that our nose is baking, not bacon, it is time to do the rest of the eye look. Let's bring y'all back in so we can finish this eye look. So what I'm gonna do is take that purple that I used right up here, and I'm just gonna take some of that, and I'm going to put that right towards the bottom lash line. And then always a little key thing, you want to make sure that this color is connecting with the rest of the eyeshadow look so it doesn't have a little gap between. And you can actually also see that it's giving that eye that lift compared to the other one, this side. So now that I have that purple on both of my under eyes, it is now time to go in with the blue now. So I'm going to use a smaller brush. This is actually an IT Cosmetics brush. Dipping into that blue shade right here. You start to add this right in front of the purple. So then what I'm now going to do is take some of the dark plum purple, and I'm just going to put that towards the back of the eye. And then again, I'm just going to bring that up here to connect the outer two colors. Boom, just like that. So now, here's a little twist. So I actually just ran to the Morphe store the other day. So I'm going to be trying out a Morphe 250 brush, which is a detail liner brush. Y'all, it is so thin. I don't know if you, yes, look how thin this is. So what I'm gonna actually do with this is I'm gonna grab some of my white concealer. So what I'm gonna do is just take this line, I'm gonna take it and make like an Egyptian inner corner, extending my inner corner to make my eye look more longer. So now that I have that white in the inner corner, I'm just gonna take some white eyeshadow on that brush, and I'm gonna just start to set that white with it. After we have that like thing, the arrows, we're gonna call it, in the inner corner, I'm just gonna take a very light type of brush and just take some of that Cullinan shade that we use on that cut crease, and I'm just gonna take some and like lightly highlight my inner corner, like literally ever so lightly, like nothing crazy. Then I'm also gonna take some of that Cullinan shade and put that right on my brow bone. Okay, so next is just a little bit of liquid eyeliner. I'm so gross. So what I'm gonna do is just take my liquid eyeliner and I'm just going to start to line. So now it is time to do some mascara. Now, I used to do falsies like all the time, but then they started ripping out my lashes time after 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 time. So I stopped altogether. Just stopped with the falsies, and now I just pack on mascara like it is my last name. So I am gonna be first using the Clinique High Impact Mascara. Y'all, this is an oldie but goodie. This stuff is so bomb. It's great if you want a more natural look. You can just do one coat, but I don't know what natural means. So I'm just going in with about 7 coats. Just kidding, I use about 2. Okay guys, so that is the eye look completely finished, all done. I am now just gonna go in with my brush, dust off my nose a bake. Alright guys, so starting to wrap up this makeup look, I am now going to go into one of the final steps, which is blush. I like to go in with blush. This is also the Saharan. This is also the the Sephora Blush Volume 2 from Juvia's Place. So what I'm gonna do is take this beautiful mix of these two colors. So I'm just gonna take some of this blush and again just pat that on my cheeks. Then I'm just gonna take my brush and just blend it down. Alright guys, so one of my favorite steps. Highlighter, shining, 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 y'all. I'm going to take my favorite highlighter at the moment, which is the Estee Lauder highlight in the shade Heat Wave. And it smells just like their fragrance and it smells so good. And I'm going to take my JS, I believe I said JS4 brush. And I'm just going to take a little bit of that and just lightly start to... And then I'm also going to take a little bit and put it on my Cupid's bow. And then take some on my chin. Cupid's bow, chin, Cupid's bow, chin, Cupid's bow, chin. Put that right on the center of my nose. And then put a little bit right on the bridge here. So what I'm gonna do now is take my Clinique lip liner. This is called the Quick Liner for lips in the shade Chocolate Chip. Y'all, this liner is bomb because it is basically like waterproof. Like it does not go anywhere. Once I have my lip liner on, I'm gonna go in with my Smashbox lipstick in the shade Always On. And I'm just gonna put that right in the center of my lips. Okay, so last but certainly, yes, word, look it up. Certainly, we're gonna take a little bit of the Morphe Continuous Setting Spray. This stuff is absolutely bomb. And we're just going to... spray that on, sorry. I always get in the moment. And this, guys, is the completed look. Okay guys, and this is the completed look. I had so much fun filming this video. This is actually a look that I did when I went to the RuPaul Drag Race Season 11 tour. I literally fell in love so much with the end result and how much this all goes together so well, and I couldn't be any happier. If there's something that you want to learn how to recreate, how to do this and that, put it in the comment section, let me read over it, and then we'll do something on a tutorial on how to beat that mug. Again guys, my name is Dakota, also known as DXF the MUA. Thank you again so much for watching my video, and as always, be original. Out.